guys, Red Pill Phil back again here with PAG UK here in Rochdale at the newly acquired premises. Billy's just told me now that they've got the new sign coming tomorrow, I do believe.
Yes, sir. It's coming hopefully tomorrow, yeah.
And what's it going to say on the sign, mate?
PAG UK Walking Centre in association with Survivors Matter.
Excellente.
So, yeah.
Oh, I bet that you know, every time you see...
when I put, and I said, look up and I see that on the...
Yeah.
That's probably when it's going to hit me, that. We've done it, you know. Well, we've not done nothing yet, have we? But we've got there nearly, you know what I mean?
Mate, honestly...
It's on the right track.
Yeah, I can see the development from me coming from a week ago, so that's brilliant. You can tell
You just heard a little conversation between me and one of my professionals who was backing us, you know. You know that things still need to be done, you know, before we're at that place.
That requires expense.
We know what we do. It does require expenses, DBSs and safeguarding training for someone that, like I said, Wayne's done his, Gemma's done hers, I've done mine, you know, so all of their DBS and safeguarding training's already took place. I'm a conflict management SIA licensed guard.
Okay,
you know,
so you're covered.
We're
it's just additional people coming in, I think she was mentioning.
Yeah, because we're predominantly dealing with children, we've got to have someone on site who can deal with that, which we've already got. So,
excellent.
But it'd be nice for us all to have it in case that one person's not here on that certain time. Certainly. So it's something we will look into, something that we're looking at.
Another point that you raised to me, and you sent me a link to provide the proof for it. There's a certain tax and licensing enforcement officer position within Rochdale Council. Now,
There was.
Yeah, there was.
The
chap that was doing it apparently has just recently got sacked.
As recent as last week.
Right. Now, the reason he got sacked is because it come out that he had a website advertising for the cost of £300. Remember, he's a tax and licensing enforcement officer. For £300, this certain chap was providing a service where he could fast track you to get a taxi license.
So I'll read it. The full course will continue to offer preparation to pass the exam set by Rochdale Council, aka himself, because he was Rochdale Council. You know, he is the representative.
He's the enforcer.
He's the enforcer. So if you don't have a licence, it's him who comes for you. So you can obtain a tax and private hire driving licence. It will give you all the information, help, guidance to make things as easy as possible to pass. Call Shaft on 0782 you know, I'd love to give his number out, you know what I mean? See if you can book it. I'd like to phone it just to see. Should we do it on camera? Should we try it?
Try it, why not?
Hey, is this Shaft Ted?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we feel like. He's shafting Rochdale.
Basically, he's from RLS, Rochdale Licensing Service. But the guy who owns this service was the enforcement of Rochdale Licensing.
So that's the epitome of cronyism.
Corruption again, we go by Rochdale Council. Now, it's turned out that he was fired as soon as Rochdale Council found out.
Right.
But also, what the problem is A, how long was he doing this service for? And B, how many taxi drivers are on the road that need to be retested because they paid for the licence? And that's what basically it is. You give me £300 and I'll tick the boxes that gets you your licence.
Well, the thing that worries me, as well as all that, mate, is that you've got normal people that do try and acquire the licence legally, that they're now being shafted.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's almost like a theme park, you know, where you've got your rides where you can either queue up or you can either get your fast track pass. Right. Everyone that's been in that situation know that when you're queuing up and you see someone with a fast track pass just waltzing up when you've been stood there for an hour, there's nothing more that pisses you off, even though they've paid for that service, but it's irrelevant because
but you know
he's
that
cheating.
Does, don't you? That makes sure that there's somebody going to go and give us the information.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's happened in this scenario.
Yeah.
You know, someone's seen this, got pissed off with it. This isn't public knowledge yet.
Right, well it is now.
It is now, yeah. Council is doing it on the quiet.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that service is still available.
Well, I think we...
But I think that's not just moonlighting with a twist. I think that's corruption in public office.
Well, it is.
He's a public servant. You know, he works for the council as a public servant. He should be arrested.
He's taken advantage of his position. Surely, because he's there to enforce. He's not there to give a fast track to people. So he's basically utilising his knowledge as an enforcement officer to give people a leg up and an easier ride
Yeah.
for 300 quid in his coffer.
Yeah.
Not in the council's coffer, in his
His
coffer.
own pocket. Now, if there's over a couple of hundred people, then that shows you how much money made, £3,000 or £4,000.
And it shows you possibly how many unscrupulous drivers that have probably got licences and driving taxis at this moment round Rochdale.
Yeah. Now, if I believe this guy was in the job way back when, throughout the grooming scandals, questions really need to be asked. But it was said back then that they couldn't locate a lot of these drivers because half of them didn't exist. Could this have something to do with that? We don't know, but it does need to be looked into because you can't make this shit. I keep saying it to everyone. I think it's the most used phrase. You can't make this shit up.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
Mate, it's like me working in a bank and then me saying to me mates, well, if you come in, I'll sort you the tenner out for a fiver. It's the same thing. It's a fast track and that's
you put
just
in for a
useless.
loan, yeah, and if I pass your loan, yeah, you give me 300 quid of it.
There you go.
That's exactly what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sharking and that's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
It's abuse of position of power, mate. It shouldn't just take a sacking. It should have been plastered all over the place. There should be a full inquiry as to why it's gone on.
Pull Dan in. Dan's on this as well. Pull our Dan in. You know, Dan's been fighting these guys as well as me, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like we can go at them all day with many different things.
Oh, of course.
There's another one, not 100% sure, I can't 100% verify it, but it's come from a member of the council, yeah? So they told me that last Christmas there was £300,000 worth of seized material held at Green Lane in the day after it had gone missing. No one's been reported as missing, it's just disappeared.
Seized as in what was seized, you know?
Yeah, seized goods that the council was holding in the part of Green Lane.
As in what? Do you know what goods there was in?
Cigarettes,
Right,
alcohol, yeah. For when they went home for the Christmas break, they disappeared back into the community. This is what the staff are telling me, that all this stuff went back to certain people's wards and it was sheltered and, you know, made a little bit of money. You know, not for the council, for the councillors and the people who run
Cronyism.
cronyism.
Wow.
But, you know, we can't prove, that's why I've not said no.
No, but there's a hint of it, and let's face it, mate,
It won't be a surprise.
it wouldn't be. Like, there's enough ammunition with these guys.
I mean, here's one, right, and this gets me. The view of the council is disgusting, right, when it comes to abuse of sexual nature. But I was talking to one of the council last week. I won't name them because they are trying to make change from within, right? And they said to me, I told them we're watching a takeaway where many children are going in and out. So some of these kids are going in for 2 or 3 hours and then coming out with no food. So I took this person with me to this takeaway and sat there with them while they watched what I watched. 3 kids going in, staying in for a while, coming out, you know what I mean? And they walked across to go somewhere. The person with me got out, followed them, went and talked to them. They said, no, nothing's happening, nothing's going on, no. So they come back in the car, they left this person and they went back into the takeaway. So me and this person had the conversation is, how do you know they're being groomed? Right, okay, well they're in a takeaway for 3 hours. Yeah, but doesn't mean they're being groomed. So they're in a takeaway for 3 hours, they're leaving without food. Yeah, but nothing's happened to them.
How do they know what's happened?
Not only that, you know, this is the council view, this is what the same view the council got. It's only a problem once they've been raped. There's the grooming process is forgot about.
Well, the grooming process is in itself an invisible process, and it's a long, over a long period of time.
It's illegal, and it's there. We should be taking these people out with.
Well, that's preventative. If you get it at the grooming stage, then you ain't going to get the assault. You ain't going to get the rape.
There you go,
you
Phil, you know what I mean? But that's the mindset. It's only an issue after they've been raped.
It's almost like they're trying to be that objective that their objectivity is not doing anything. It's not serving any purpose whatsoever.
Look, we've only got resources, so we've got to prioritise. So if the grooming will just let that happen, but when they rape them, we won't have that.
That's when.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like saying these kids are in there for 3 hours. You've got 4 guys that are guilty of grooming children because they're even sat in there with them. Whatever they're talking about, whatever they do, they could be best of friends. They could be really nice people talking to them. Do you know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, they're grooming them kids ready for something else.
Even if that is their stance, Billy, which it's still out of order for them to say that, what confidence would you have to be convinced that they are actually going to take it on board?
You got a brew?
No, I'm all right, mate. Thank you very much. What confidence would you have to actually think that once that victim has been abused, been raped, with particularly what's gone on here, particularly with survivors and whatnot, no view, that they're actually going to take that case on?
That's why we've spiked in numbers of people coming to us instead of the police. That's why it spikes over recent months, you know.
Yeah.
Because the police are saying, oh, well, you know.
Give us a shout if this happens.
Has he done anything to her? What's he done? Has he had sexual contact? No, well, what's he really done? He's not done anything wrong. And that's the way they're looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a process to grooming. This is why we and Dan are trying to go mad, because I want Dan in there training these people on what grooming is, because they said lessons have been learned, they still don't know what grooming is. You know what I mean? They're still failing children because they will not learn what grooming is. Grooming is a process that takes place before rape. Grooming's not when you've finally got your hand on a child. Yeah? The grooming is the process in the months and years leading up to that point. So let's stop it there, man. Fuck's sake, let's stop it there.
Yeah.
But the council are saying, well, no, it's not a problem until you shan't be touched. What's the problem?
Falling under the radar, mate. That's what the problem is. It's just an excuse to make people just disappear as a statistic, because that's what's going to happen. If there's nothing in place, no protocol to even at least look at the problem, then you can see how many victims are going to occur.
So yeah, just want to point out to these, if you're a parent and you go to the police believing your child's been groomed, and they turn you away and tell you they're not being groomed, and you know, the fact of the matter is, if your child's in attendance with another adult and you haven't given that person permission to be around your child, they are grooming your child. Yeah, so we need to push this as far as we can because we can prevent it.